Messi skips All-Star game and faces ban is retirement around the corner. Lionel Messi, a name that echoes across every corner of the football world. From his very first strides in the iconic Barcelona jersey to his magical goals at PSG. And now, standing tall as a symbol of football in Inter Miami and MLS. Messi's journey spans over 2 decades, filled with hundreds of unforgettable, legendary moments. But just recently, a surprising report from ESPN left fans around the globe in shock. Messi has reportedly refused to play in the upcoming MLS All-Star Game 2025, a highly anticipated friendly between the stars of MLS and Liga MX. And that decision immediately sparked a wave of speculation. Could this be the first real sign that Lionel Messi is preparing to retire? The MLS All-Star Game is one of the most visually spectacular and highly promoted events of the year in Major League Soccer. It's not just a friendly match, it's a celebration, a marketing showcase that brings together the biggest stars of the league. Its purpose: to entertain, to connect, and more importantly, to promote MLS to the global stage. And ever since Lionel Messi joined Inter Miami, this all-star event has carried even greater expectations. A stage where the world expects to see him, not just as a player, but as a global icon, almost like the face of MLS itself. But this year, Messi was absent. Not because of a serious injury, not because of disciplinary issues, not even due to internal conflict. He simply chose not to play. And now, as a result, he could face a 1-game suspension, in accordance with internal MLS regulations, even though the All-Star match is technically just a friendly. Rules are rules, and Messi's decision has sparked serious debate across the football world. From a pure sporting perspective, Lionel Messi is no longer the force of nature he once was. At 38 years old, his physical condition needs to be carefully managed. And just weeks ago, he pushed himself to the limit at Copa America 2024 with Argentina. A grueling tournament where, even at an age when most legends have already retired, Messi was still carrying the weight of a nation on his shoulders. So yes, skipping a promotional, exhibition-style match like the MLS All-Star Game makes sense if the goal is to preserve energy for more meaningful battles ahead. But here's the thing. This wasn't just about rest. It was a quiet message, loud in meaning. Messi's priorities are shifting. He's no longer the player who must show up for every press shoot, every sponsor event, every symbolic appearance. He's no longer obligated to perform just to please the media or the market. Messi now chooses what truly matters to him. Matches with emotional weight, with personal meaning, with purpose. And that is exactly how great players begin to say goodbye. Silently, gradually, but unmistakably. From the fans' point of view, reactions to Messi's absence were far from unified. There are clearly 2 sides, and both have valid reasons. On one side, we have those who truly admire and respect him. They understand that after over 2 decades of relentless dedication, after thousands of minutes on the pitch, countless injuries, trophies, and magical nights, Messi has earned the right to choose rest. For these fans, this isn't disappointment, it's empathy. Because even the greatest artists need silence after giving the world everything they have. But on the other side are those who felt let down. They bought tickets hoping to see Messi in the flesh. They tuned into the All-Star Game just for a glimpse of brilliance from the legendary Num 10. For them, his absence wasn't just a blank spot in the lineup. It was a small dream, quietly broken. And for MLS, the impact runs deeper. This is a league still fighting for global recognition, still building its image on the world football stage. With Messi, they didn't just sign a player. They embraced a symbol, a beacon of ambition. So when he doesn't take the field in a flagship event like the All-Star Game, it shakes the foundation of their branding and global outreach plans. In truth, if we look closely, the signs have been there. Signs that Lionel Messi has quietly begun preparing for the day he walks away from football. In recent interviews, his tone has changed. Gone are the declarations of chasing titles or breaking records. Instead, he speaks of family, of time with his children, of enjoying what's left, as if counting down the final moments on the pitch. More than once, he has softly admitted, "I know I don't have much time left with the ball." He declined the invitation to play in the 2024 Olympics. He plays selectively for Inter Miami, stepping in only when it truly matters. And most recently, he hinted that World Cup 2026 may be his last dance. For a legend who once set impossible standards for endurance and consistency, this gradual scaling back is no small signal. It means he's taking careful steps, away from the spotlight. There's no dramatic press conference, no fireworks farewell, just a quiet, graceful retreat, human, tender, and real. And maybe for someone like Messi, who has always let the game speak for him, this is the most beautiful way to say goodbye. If Lionel Messi chooses to retire after the 2026 World Cup, it would be a near-perfect ending. In the United States, the country where he now lives, plays, and which will also host that very World Cup, Messi would bring his legendary journey full circle, representing Argentina, the team he led to global glory in 2022. A full circle, nothing left to prove, nothing left to regret. And after that, he might become a coach, a global ambassador for football, or perhaps simply step away from the spotlight to enjoy quiet days with the family he's always placed above all fame. Whatever path lies ahead, one thing is certain. Messi will forever live in the hearts of fans around the world, not just because of the goals, not just because of the trophies, but because he is the embodiment of pure artistry on the pitch, unmatched dedication, and a humility that defined his greatness. If you've followed Messi, from those unforgettable goals against Real Madrid, to his breathtaking masterpieces in the Champions League, and to that moment of pure glory when he lifted the World Cup trophy through tears and triumph, then surely you're beginning to feel that lump in your throat. As the reality sets in, Messi may soon leave the game behind. No noise, no shocking announcements, just a quiet stillness, but one that marks the end of an era. His decision to skip the 2025 MLS All-Star game may seem like a small thing, but in truth it's a deeply human gesture, and profoundly Messi. Not an act of rebellion, but a silent farewell. A quiet whisper to the world. I was here. I gave it everything I had. Now, it's time to give the rest to myself. Cherish every fleeting second that Lionel Messi still graces the green pitch. Every gentle touch like a whisper. Every graceful run that seems to freeze time. Every gaze that opens a universe where football becomes poetry. For we may be living through the final breaths of a golden era, where football wasn't just a game, but a living art, an emotion, a legacy woven by the feet of a man who redefined the beautiful game. And when the lights finally dim, when the crowd falls silent, Messi will not simply walk away like a player reaching his end. No, he will leave the stage as an immortal legend, not because of the trophies he's lifted, but because of the hearts he's touched. He didn't just play football. He made the world fall in love with it all over again. Personally, I don't see Messi refusing to play in the 2025 MLS All-Star game as unprofessional. At 38, after over 2 decades of non-stop dedication, he has every right to prioritize his health and choose which matches really matter. Messi isn't playing for branding or business anymore, he's playing for pure passion. And honestly, I believe this might be his quiet way of preparing us for the end. To me, this isn't a red flag. It's a subtle message. I've given enough. Now it's time to step back. And that makes every game he plays from now on even more precious.